So
And it's just
not
like
that hard.
it's inherent responsibility, but on top of that, it's your desire to just, see this creature and provide to them something more. And that's got to be so fulfilling. So, you've opened my eyes. Before this and before hearing about this, I was honestly just ignorant of paraplegic cats. I'd never had the opportunity to meet one. So it's not something I thought about just out of pure fate. And now that it's something that's been brought to my attention and a lot of other people's attention soon, it's something now I'll keep in mind as the time comes that I'm looking for an animal, and all of those things, whether paraplegic, disabled, or whatever it is. So that's super special.
Well, what's interesting about this time we're living in where everyone's at home and
Yes.
nobody's working in their they're working from home and everything. This is a perfect time to have a special needs animal because you're
Yeah.
there so you can take care of their needs. I have a window of time that I can be gone and then come back because I need to take care of them. But even with that, it's doable. So just like when I go to the tattoo shop or if I go out shopping or I
Yes.
go somewhere, which is rare these days,
No,
but
of course.
I guess my point is this is a good time to get a pet. And if there's a special needs pet out there that needs a home and you're going to be home all the time anyway, then you could really give them a loving, caring home. They would be literally, put to death otherwise.
And not
So,
the alternative is just way too dark to even go there. So
well, I can't even imagine not having a Lita. Do you want to see her?
yes. Oh, that would be amazing. If she is right there, that is so amazing. Yes.
Okay, she doesn't like to be held really.
Okay. Hi, sweetheart. Look at her looking in here. Hi, she can see me too.
She's
Oh
like,
no.
down.
She doesn't like being held. Oh, she's such a pretty cat.
Well, you know what it is? She has a thing about the television. So she
Oh,
thinks she's seeing you going, who's that? What's
this is
that?
TV for her. Oh, but
Yeah.
she reminds me so very much of one of my grandparents' cat who they have had, just looks why they look so similar. They've had this cat for like 17 years. It is
Oh,
just
that's awesome.
it's amazing. Yeah, so that was very nice to see that too. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, with cats as the subject here, a lot of what you mentioned is that you facilitate. Things go wrong obviously when you have a lot of animals or an animal in general. Things go wrong with their health, and um, you obviously require certain surgeries, and I would assume probably more maybe than average, or just because you're obviously dealing with more cats and injuries. So what is that like, facilitating these surgeries? How does that process begin? Where does the funding come from? Like, just walk us through that part of it if you want to.
So when you're a rescue, so I'm a 501c3, right? Which
Okay.
is the government recognized. So I can receive donations and those donations are a tax write-off. If they're monetary donations,
Okay.
then somebody can write it off for their taxes. So
Absolutely.
it's a win-win because if you donate to a rescue, one like mine or other ones, you are helping, but you're also getting a tax break. So you can't
It's
really lose.
definitely a win-win, right?
So
And a cool thing.
as far as medical issues, it really depends on the cat because some of my paraplegics, they never go to the vet.
Right.
And it doesn't matter that they're back leg paralyzed, they're healthy otherwise. So
Exactly.
it really depends. But we also help animals that don't live here at the rescue because we're full, we're at capacity, but people reach out to me all the time asking for
Wow.
help. So what we do is we fundraise, and I use the social media platforms to do that.
Okay.
Instagram mostly, and then Facebook. And I have a website, but people don't generally go to websites that much. It seems like they go to Instagram or Facebook. So I use those platforms a lot to fundraise. And this year alone, during COVID and me not being able to work, I raised something like almost 10 grand to help cats that did not live here at the
Wow.
rescue.
Just
So,
not even, they're just
and
out in
these,
the world and you've still
well,
managed to do something for them.
yeah, these cats that we helped were strays that they were living on the streets of LA, and they were just literally dying from different illnesses, and one had cancer, so we got his ears removed.
You did.
Um, it's so tragic what happens on the streets, especially in a city, at least in LA. I don't know about other cities,
Right.
but it's really bad. People
It's
just
bad there, huh?
toss their cats out and they don't get them fixed. So it's a big problem. So we try to educate people about TNR, which is trap and release.
Okay.
So even if you can't take in a stray or feral cat, you want to get them fixed, spayed and neutered, so that they
Gotcha.
don't make more babies, because I can't even tell you what I've seen, because you'll just cry.
The
It's
kitten,
horrible.
yeah.
Little kittens dying, and they
Mm-mm.
don't, parasites and all kinds of things
Uh,
that people don't think about. They just go about their lives. If they don't think that these poor animals are living out there, luckily it's warmer here, but still there's
luckily,
so many
yeah.
perils for these poor cats, and they're just breeding and multiplying. But there's a big army of caring people in Los Angeles that go out and they trap and then get them fixed and then put them back in the environment. And then a lovely woman that I work with all the time, she goes out twice a day. She spends $1,000 a month on cat food, and
Wow.
she feeds all the strays and ferals of Los Angeles. Is
What a
not
hero.
all, but in her area.
Right.
So luckily there are good people. There's just not enough good people and not enough money to help, because
Right.
it seems like the poorest people give the most, and
Always. Yes.
it's to me really tragic. And it seems like people should try to become more aware of what's going on around them,
Yes.
outside of their bubble.
Right near us too. It's in our culture, our homes, our communities. It's kind of like, ironic, like you could be worth $1 million as you're walking over a bridge to work, and underneath the bridge is a family of stray cats. And I think
Yeah.
that's part of that sad irony there. And that's part of what we want to do is, make these voices, these positive voices loud and clear. So a lot of that you said is donation based, right? So is that what you mainly seek, is really just especially since volunteers can't help right now, the best thing for you is just donations at this point, huh? Especially in your move, I'm sure.
Okay, we definitely need donations. On my Instagram, there's a link tree, and we
Okay.
do have an Amazon wish list, and people can, a lot
Awesome.
of people actually, they love to donate items and supplies.
It's like
which
giving a
is
gift or
great.
something, right?
Really, really great, and I appreciate it so much. It helps a lot. But I try to encourage Patreon, so a
Okay.
monthly donation. I try to encourage like a PayPal or Patreon monthly. That helps us, because not only do the kitties need supplies to eat and cat litter and stuff like that, we
Like,
also have so many vet bills.
yes.
Even if the ones here that live on the rescue don't need veterinary care, we help so many others outside of the rescue. So we try to keep it flowing.
Right.
And I don't make a dime from doing this. I don't have a salary. I don't get paid anything. I don't pay myself through any money that comes through the rescue, which technically you can.
Right.
If you're a 501c3, you can have employees and people, get paid. But I do not do that. I take every single donation goes right back into the rescue. It helps only the animals, and that's how I plan to keep it. Just everything helps them.
That's just the best thing ever. I mean, you're just such an amazing person for doing that. Because talk about, it's easy for somebody, and they don't do it enough, to just give a few bucks, but let alone do what you've done and kind of like create an entire business out of this while you were doing your other business. So that's just huge and amazing. And I hope that do you think that COVID, in terms of challenges, do you think that that's almost been a good thing, that you've been able to direct that focus now on this passion and this business? Was it good timing? Was it bad timing? Or were those challenges kind of just non-existent in a way?
Let's see. COVID is challenging in a lot of ways. Everything that's happening, I think more than anything else, COVID has just created this universal stress and feeling of
Hugely.
just really feeling
Right.
stressed out all the time. So as far as it affecting my efforts towards the rescue, I always say I'm all go, no slow. So it didn't really affect me that way, because I'm just constant, nonstop, go, go, go with the animals. I have to do all the paperwork also, and I have to do all the, social media platforms. That's like a full-time job in itself, posting and asking for donations, and it's a lot.
Something to do.
So I'm never bored. I am never bored since I started this rescue. And even without going to my tattoo shop, I have so much to do here. It doesn't matter.
And that's nice to have, honestly, at this point. So, I mean, boredom is also a theme that I hear too much of. So it's nice that these cats have given you something on that reverse end of it.
That's actually really true. That's a really good point. I don't know if I wasn't doing this rescue work, I think I would be really a lot more depressed. I think I would feel like I had no purpose. And, having these little lives depend on me, it's kind of life changing, and it gives you this sense of, doing something good in the world. And I feel like that's really what we're supposed to be doing here. People are like, why are we here? Why are humans on this planet? What are we supposed to be doing? And
purpose.
I think universally we're supposed to be helping others, and that includes other species, other, animals.
It does not stop
And
humanity.
I think
Yes.
people need to stop, complaining so much and get out and do something good. If you want to help people, help people. If you want to help animals. Don't just watch other people do it. Get off your butt and go out and do something. And guess what? You're going to feel better inside when you do that. You're going to,
yes.
whenever you help another individual, a human or an animal, it changes you a little bit, even for the day. You do something good and you're going to feel good too. Yep. And so do it selfishly if you want, but just do something in the world. Don't sit around just doing nothing,
Right. If everyone just took even like an hour of this time that we all do, or not all, but especially you, but
yeah, an hour, but
you're right. And the reason I say this is because I'm a writer, obviously, with a lot of what I do. And I like a lot of writing is reading. So I'm always reading about, what's going on and other writers' points of view. And like I said, it was a lot of the theme has been boredom and just not knowing what to do. And if everyone just said, hey, I'm going to stand up and do something good, like you said, humanity, animals, doesn't matter, don't care. The effect would just spin the world even faster. And I wish that
a lot of people are, worried about the environment. So do something, help out, go pick up trash on the beach, do something, to help. This whole existence, I firmly believe, is we're here to help. We're supposed to be living with each other, not fighting against each other. We're supposed to be helping each other to survive and to feel good. And this isolation with COVID is really terrible for humankind and on many levels, So I think it's a really challenging time for everybody.
Yes.
And I think if anything, if someone's lonely out there, go to the shelter and get yourself a companion animal.
Exactly. That's
what you want to do. If you're just especially by yourself. I know several people who live alone and they haven't been able to see any of their friends. So what a perfect time to have another little, life to be with you and be your companion and take care of each other.
There's not a more perfect time. There's really, really not. And to showcase especially what an animal can do to you, I think it's just when they come into your life, the happiness just explodes. Just like you said, passion, fulfillment. Whether it's one of them or 20, like an animal is just the best thing that you could ever.
I have a lot.
Yeah.